All right, good morning, sixth grade. Welcome back to another Wildcat Wellness. It's Tuesday. We're going to be in second step today. We're going to be learning about emotions in our brain and kind of what happens. You're going to learn some big words. So this is a very educational Wildcat Wellness, and it's going to be something that hopefully you really learn about what's going on when something happens that you don't expect or something comes at you that's real negative, like if we spill water all over your homework, and how you respond. And we'll go over some of the ways that maybe you can respond in a more positive manner. But you can see my background, students. As we all know, it is Black History Month. It's a great month, and hopefully you know who this is behind me. But this is Hank Aaron, who set the home run record, and he is a legend, absolute legend, especially in the state of Georgia. And sadly, he did pass away recently. So this is kind of in memory of him, but he is someone, when I was a kid playing baseball, you wanted to be Hank Aaron. The number 44 absolutely is always going to be associated with Hank Aaron. Number 23 is Michael Jordan, 44, Hank Aaron. It's something that we all know. And you can see here, I believe this is potentially the night that he broke the record, being lifted up by his teammates. It's a great sight, a lot of positive energy in the crowd, and you just love to see it. So he's someone I will always remember, and I wanted to kind of pass this along for those who don't know him or maybe aren't quite sure, but he's an absolute legend in not only the sport, but off the field. He's a humanitarian, and he preached a very positive community message. Okay, students, and that's what we're trying to do with these Wildcat Wellness is community. We want to build your community in your homeroom, which will extend to your grade, which extends to the school, and it goes out into the world. That's our goal here. So we will get started. I will share my screen, and teachers, as you can see, let me get rid of that. But it's probably best if you open up your second step so you can share these videos with students that are virtual, because them watching my YouTube link, watching the video, it just doesn't play very well. So I will count on y'all to pull up the videos in second step to play them. So I know that's some back and forth going on. I just don't think it's worth it to play the videos on this end because of the lag that I've heard from other teachers. So please log into second step. In the email, you have the student handout, which I think for this lesson in particular is great to go through. So again, being able to go back and forth between screens, but I'll go through this lesson kind of briefly, and teachers using the student handout, I think you'll be able to guide the students and get them through this lesson, very efficiently. But you see here, students getting into Wildcat Wellness, emotions in your brain. All right, now this is an extremely important topic because right now, all you sixth graders are trying to learn how to control your impulses. And there's nothing you can do except try your hardest and try to learn strategies. Because right now, impulse control, all right, that's something we as educators, your teachers, your parents, we know that at this stage in life, 11, 12, 13, 14, impulse control is something that is very hard for you to manage. And that's why we want to go over it, is because all students are dealing with impulse control. So it's smart to touch on that topic so you can learn about what's going on in your brain. All right, so in this lesson, we'll learn what happens in our brains when we feel a strong emotion. All right, and teachers, again, it's going to be a little shorter video because it is best if you watch the videos with your class and then do the activity. I'm just going to emphasize a few key points to get through this, and I'm going to send it out to y'all. But I'll read the question out loud. Imagine you just heard someone say something about you that isn't true. How would you feel? What do you do? Okay, I'll let y'all talk for a second, and then I'll come in with some comments. Okay. So as an adult, when you hear something about you that isn't true, we immediately ask kind of who said it. And if it's something that really hurts and is something that you know could impact you, then we address that person. We don't start more drama until we address the person who said it. Okay. Adults are supposed to be able to come together and figure out, why it was said. Was it misheard? Did they just mishear what you said? And so it's like the game of telephone where, it starts out with one word and by the gets through everybody, it's something else. Or if that person just doesn't like you, or maybe they, are trying to start a rumor. So as adults, we try and figure out who said it and why they said it. We don't just start immediately saying bad things about them or start more rumors. Okay. You really want to get to the source on that. And the best thing you can do is just go to them instead of saying something bad about them. And now it starts a whole drama circle. We see it every day in 6th grade and 7th grade and 8th grade. So students, this is an important lesson for us to, think about it before we start saying things that aren't true or saying things to hurt someone's feelings because we think they said something. All right. So teachers, these next few sections are the videos. I really think it's best if you pause me here and then just go through the videos with your class. All right, so I'm going to start back here, but you see the 2 examples here, students, or the 1 example. What does the brain say and do? So Lennon's little brother accidentally knocked over Lennon's glass of water and it spilled all over her homework. This is a perfect example of when emotions can take over. It's so easy to have emotions take over. Okay. And grab your brother, hit your brother, yell at your brother, say something that's mean to your brother because now all your homework's ruined or it's wet. And it's very easy to be negative. Okay. But there's a key word that's accidental. And in this case, maybe your brother's chasing the dog around and he bumps into the table, or maybe your brother's rushing out of the room and bumps into the table. He could have been more careful, but it was an accident. Okay. So we encourage you to kind of think it down. Okay. And that's your cortex that we talked about, your teachers talked about during the videos. And if you're able to recognize it was an accident, all right, maybe you have your brother clean it up. All right. Now that's not on the screen, but I think that'd be reasonable. Hey, little brother, you just got you got my homework all wet. I need you to clean this up. Even though it was an accident, I think you should clean it up. And if he cleans it up, all things should be good. If he doesn't, then you might have to talk to parents or get someone involved, or you can just go clean it up, say little brother does little brother things, and you can go forward from there. Also maybe even if it is an accident, okay, asking your brother to apologize is a decent way to come together there and understand it's an accident. I didn't mean it, but I am sorry that your homework's all wet. Okay. Those are hard situations, students, because we know emotions can take over, but we're encouraging you to learn from what we just did with the amygdala and the cortex. Tough word. Teachers probably did better than me. But this is what we want you to start thinking about and learning with impulse control. Okay. Okay. The next one, Roland notices Tanya looking at his paper while he does an assignment. After class, he finds her assignment on the ground. He reads it and sees that her answers are almost identical to his. Okay. Now with a partner, we're not going to do it with a partner. So with your class, read the possible responses on your handout and describe what's happening in Roland's brain. All right. So the student handout, if we go down there, this is where I think teachers, if you work through with your students, you could have some good discussion. It's hard for me to have a discussion on my own. So teachers, I hope this helps, but I will have that in the email as you already saw. Okay. So I'll read the final question, and hopefully homeroom students and teachers, you have a good discussion. Think of a time that you reacted to a strong emotion quickly. Before you were able to think through your response, what happened? And I'll give my example here. If you could go back and think it through before responding, what would you have done differently? Okay, so example for mine would absolutely be with my sisters. Absolutely with my sisters. And, you know, they would come in when I was younger and take my desserts, okay? And I might say things that I did not mean regarding to maybe their weight or calling them selfish, but probably using not as nice words, all right? And what would happen is they would get upset and start calling me names, and we would keep calling each other names until the parents came in, and now we're both in our rooms grounded, okay? So going back, thinking about differently before responding, okay? Maybe I go straight to my parents if they take the dessert, or maybe I ask, you know, if they would, instead of taking it all, give me half back and you can have the other half, bargain with them, all right? And then maybe realize I'm little brother, my sisters are gonna do things to me, but I don't think in the moment you can think like that. That's pretty tough. So if you could go back and think it through before responding, what would you have done differently? I definitely think trying to share more, okay? Maybe saying, hey, don't take them, I'll give you one. Instead of taking all three, here, you can have two, but let me keep one, all right? Because sometimes with older siblings, they do what they want. But we want you all to be able to try your hardest to think through those automatic emotions, okay? And I think this handout will help. And I know our next lesson discusses some of the same things, but in a different way that can be very helpful. So teachers, I hope it was a good lesson. Students, I will see you in the hallway. Don't forget Black History Month, okay? I encourage you to read up on Hank Aaron if you don't know who he is. There's a ton of other inspiring, you know, moments in history that are credited to the African-American community that we need to recognize. And I will continue doing that through my lessons, and I will do another one on Friday. But as for this lesson, I think we'll end it here. And, you know, I hope you students have a great Tuesday. Bye.